our fundamental hypothesis is that Scrum was built around a fundamental structure. Complete cross-functional teams, those teams operating off of a clearly articulated backlog and able to produce a working tested increment of product at the end of every sprint. The fundamental thing that gets in the way of that in most organizations are dependencies. We don't know how to break the dependencies, so therefore we break the process to accommodate the dependencies. Okay? And really the core of transformation strategy, whether it be at the single team level or whether it be at scale, is this idea that I call teams, backlogs, working tested software. If we can't get to complete cross-functional teams operating off of a clearly well-identified, well-articulated backlog, able to produce a working tested increment at the end of every sprint, I will guarantee you no amount of methodology is actually going to drive the business outcomes that you want. The dependencies are encapsulated within a single team. Period, full stop. Right? You can say, well, Scrum of Scrums, but Scrum of Scrums, if you really think about it, is a late dependency identification model. Right? You got a bunch of teams that are at capacity, they realize they need each other, they escalate to the Scrum of Scrums, it happens late, everybody's at capacity, there's nothing to do with that work, so therefore it doesn't get done or it gets done late, destabilizes delivery. So everything in your Agile transformation is going to come down to how do I create teams, how do I create backlogs, how do I produce working tested software. At scale, this is a little nuanced to do this without slides, but I talk about structure, governance, and metrics. Right? What does the team-based organizational structure look like? How are we going to govern the flow of value across teams? What are we going to measure and control in a way that preserves agility rather than working against agility? Okay? But that's the approach. Right? The approach that we have to start to think about is how are we going to form teams? How are we going to build backlogs? How are we going to produce working tested software? Again, the things that are going to get in the way of doing that are mostly dependencies. Okay? And in the presence of dependencies, you have one of two choices. You have to either manage dependencies or you have to break dependencies.